Before coming to university, I had never considered my own ideology of education, nor had I had much experience to develop my ideology. Through researching multiple theorists, both old and new, and looking at their ideologies regarding education, I have been able to piece together my own ideology. From my own experience and reading literature, I have created my own ideology that I think is key to ensuring a safe and happy working environment. The centre of my ideology is inclusion. Liazadou supported my idea of inclusion being different to everyone by saying inclusion is a somatic chameleon. It is different for everybody. This leads on to the question, what does inclusion mean to me? Inclusion means something different to everybody, but to me, it doesn't mean just one thing. Linking in with the code of practice that was improved in 2015, I strongly believe that listening to the voice of a child is vital. Not only should we listen to the voice of a child, but to me, inclusion also means equal opportunities. Every child deserves the support to try and achieve whatever they want to. Dewey once stated, education is a social process. Education is growth. Education is not preparation for life, but it is life itself. Although I agree that education is life, I feel like whilst in education, we are not prepped enough for life. Out of the three approaches, individual, society and knowledge, my ideology touches on all three approaches. However, the main focus is upon the individual. I believe that before we can build a society or build upon knowledge, you must first have an individual. Therefore, I think it is vital that when an individual is in our educational settings, we ensure that they get the care and support that they deserve. In relation to listening to a child, I also believe that education being mainly child-centred. Montessori approach revolves around a child. When at a Montessori school, the pupils can choose what academic activities they perform and when they do so. Not only do they get choice on activities, but also which exams they participate in. Each child must do a maths and an English GCSE, but the rest are all optional. Maria Montessori also focused on inclusion. I admire the work of Montessori as she did her best to make sure her classrooms were as inclusive as possible. She would ensure that her pupils would have apparatus readily available to suit their needs. I hope that when in an educational setting myself, all children will have their needs fulfilled. Finland's education system also heavily revolves around the individual and inclusion. Sahlberg stated that Finland has followed a path of inclusion and fairness. As a result of the way the Finnish educational system is run and how well it works, they are among the highest achiever in PISA tests. Finnish educators don't compare pupils' achievement, as it often can be very downgrading. However, Grove values formal examination. I personally believe that examinations are not a true reflection of a child's ability. From a personal point of view, tests add additional stress which could be avoided. Following on, I also strongly believe that socialisation is key to learning. It is important that children are given the opportunity to learn from their peers and also their own mistakes. Not just what the teacher tells them. One way to enable socialisation is through learning outside the classroom. Outdoor learning means that children can learn from personal experience rather than out of a textbook. The organisation Learning Outside the Classroom stated, "You can't teach children risks from a textbook." Not only is learning outside the classroom good for education, but it also brings major health benefits for the child. It's exercise, along with being outside and getting the benefits from fresh air. I don't believe that there is enough support in schools for pupils after being in education. Fortunately, children are only taught to pass exams rather than preparing them for adulthood and the transition from education into the workplace. Ken Robinson emphasised that schools are dominated by standardised testing. Unfortunately, schools are rated upon achievement, so schools aim to achieve high rather than ensuring pupils are happy. In my classroom, I aim to minimise the stress placed upon pupils, as stress only prevents progress. Since having the opportunity to work in classrooms, particularly ones that specialise in special needs, and working alongside educational professionals, I have found that teachers focus so much upon ensuring that they are meeting national curriculum requirements, they fail to meet the needs of the children. Teachers are regularly failing to differentiate their lessons to suit each individual need. Through observing lessons, it has become increasingly clear that no two children learn in the same way, and adaptations must be made if there are children struggling to engage. To conclude and summarise what my developing ideology is. When in my own classroom, I wish for all children to feel as though they belong in my classroom. I also want to ensure all children's needs are being met. I do not want to put any unnecessary stress on pupils. I will listen to the children. I will revolve my classroom around the children, and they will all be safe. But most importantly, I want to ensure that they are all happy.